Hello, Java Challenger. Today, I will help you plan the actions you need to take to achieve your career goals. I am Rafael Del Nero, a Java champion, and today I have here David, and I'm gonna help David to create his weekly plan so that he can achieve his career goals. The name of this program is How to Boost Your Java Career. So, hello, David. You're very welcome to be here. So, David is a Java developer who has around 5 years of experience with Java, and he wants to obviously get better in his career. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here with me. How are you, David? Can you tell me a little bit about you to everyone?
Hi, Rafael. Yeah, sure. Well, as you said, I have been a Java developer for 5 years, more or less. I would like to to improve my experience with Java. I mean, I know like the basics of Java, but I would like to become a senior developer. Uh, I have some troubles to build uh, apps from scratch. So I would like to have more experience, learn more about algorithms, design patterns, and things like that. So yeah, that's it.
So tell me, David, what you've been doing to overcome this challenge of creating an application from scratch. Have you ever tried a strategy or anything to be able to create an application from scratch? So tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, most of the time I try to read blogs, documentation, things like that. But to be honest, I don't have enough to like say, hey, I can do this because I have that knowledge and experience. So yeah, one way to overcome those issues is like try to get help in blogs from, for example, Stack Overflow. But yeah, I don't have like the knowledge that I want.
So it seems to me, David, that you are studying too much, you are reading too much documentations, but you're not trying to create a project yourself. So my recommendation to you is to get started, right? Because you can only get confidence once you take action. So you must try to create the project from scratch yourself, even without the confidence, because the confidence will come afterwards. So after you have the project created, then you're gonna have your confidence, right?
Okay.
And the other thing, like nowadays we have ultra powerful AI, right? So AI can create the code for you. Obviously, there will be some mistakes there, there will be some errors there, but you can use AI to learn. AI is an ultra powerful tool to use, right? So if you have a question about the concept of dependency injection, you ask, hey, AI, what is dependency injection? Why do we use that thing, right? Or if you're confused about design pattern, you say, hey, AI, simplify this concept to me. Why we have the design pattern, right? So it seems to me that you are reading too much, but you're not trying because you lack confidence. But the thing about confidence is that you have to do it first to get the confidence. Otherwise, you're going to be always there. You're going to be always here, lacking the confidence to create a project from scratch. Because really, we have all the tools, right? If we have a computer, we can create a microservice from scratch. We can even deploy in the cloud. And nowadays, it's so cheap. You can use AWS, you can use Azure, Oracle Cloud, whatever the cloud you want. You can even use Heroku, that's much easier. Um, so my recommendation to you is to give a try. Don't worry about the confidence because the confidence will come afterwards. So what prevents you to start the project from scratch?
Something like the confidence because I don't know how to start. I mean, like the design of the app, for example. What kind of technology should I start? What could be the best practice to create, I don't know, like a microservice or something like that? Because I think that I could mess, yeah, it could be a mess when I started working on it.
But it's fine if it's a mess, right? It's
Yeah,
gonna be your first project from scratch. Who cares? It's your personal project. Doesn't need to be perfect. The thing also, nowadays, Spring Boot is the go-to framework, right? Is the framework that's using in most of the companies in the world, right? So we can simply go to Spring Initializer on the web browser, and you can generate your project from scratch there with a click of a button, right? You have all the REST libraries. You're gonna have the Hibernate libraries, everything you need to get started. You can test Spring Data with MongoDB or whatever database you want. You can test message queues, right? You can test so many things. Obviously, if you're creating your first project from scratch, create something simple, right? Don't overthink about that. But really, you can do your project with anything, any tool. And mostly, in most cases, the projects we work on are CRUD projects, right? So we're gonna do some interactions with database. We're gonna do some business requirements logic, but it's not, we don't go much further than that for a business application, right? Obviously, there are ultra complicated business requirements, but for your first project from scratch, it can be something very simple. It could be like a pet project, like you would register a dog, cat, something very simple that doesn't even have to make sense, just for you to practice and to break this barrier and to get the confidence that you can create a project from scratch. That's so
okay.
important for you. There are so many tools. Quarkus as well is excellent for that. You can go to quarkus.com and you can download your project from scratch, right? Or you can use Micronaut or whatever the framework you want. So nowadays, those tools really makes our lives easier. So you have many options, right? You can use AI, you can use Spring Initializer, you can use Quarkus, you can use Micronaut. Uh, there are so many excellent frameworks in the market just available for us. We can just use them. So don't stay only reading documents. Don't go through the tutorial hell because that won't help you. That don't help you. Like only reading a lot and watching lots of videos won't help you at all. You have to practice as well. I'm not saying that it's not important to watch talks or to read books. Those are very important as well. But if you don't take any action to really acquire those skills, you won't acquire those skills. Therefore, you'll never have the confidence. You don't depend on your job to get this confidence. You can create a project right now. After this call, you can go to Spring Initializer, download a Java project. You can run this microservice. You can deploy it in the cloud, and you can access it. You can access this service. So, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think it could be very very helpful for me. Like start working on something, as you said, something simple at least, and then like level up like the, yeah, like the difficulty or the projects.
Yes. Well, you have many ways to do that, right? You can do courses on Udemy. There's so many courses there where you create a project from scratch, right? And then you can just get the code, do the adaptations you want, or
Yeah,
you can simply read the documentation. But documentation, I think, is the worst place to start
yeah,
because uh, it's not intuitive. Most times, it's not intuitive. It has all the information you can imagine. And I would say that documentation is more useful for expert users, right? Only for people who really know that tool, then it makes sense. Otherwise, it will mostly confuse you rather than helping you. So there are many ways. There are many ways to do the same thing. The important thing is to break this barrier and to get the confidence. But you have to take action to gain this confidence, right? So what framework do you use in your company?
Spring Boot,
Yeah.
sometimes Spring, they are like the most commons we're using.
So why do you think you are not able to create a Spring service?
I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to that. As I said, I just refactored some pieces of the code, or yeah, I just modify some pieces.
So that's the thing. It seems to me that you are depending on your company to do that. You can't depend on your company, right? Because they are not responsible for your career. You are responsible for your career. So the action that I recommend you to take is to create your own Git repo and create the service yourself from scratch. Or the other thing that would help you massively to really improve your coding skills would be to participate in open source project. That's also very powerful. But you can take the easier step first, right? You can create a project from scratch. After this call, go to Spring Initializer, download a Java project, and then you put it on your Git repo, right? And run the service locally and see if you can make a REST request. See if you can get a response, see if you can insert data there. You can use Postman, you can use whatever, it's better for you.
Okay, yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Very good. Okay, any other specific challenge you're going through in your career?
I think it's more like the confidence. I know how to use some tools, like as you said, a Postman, things like that. Even I, uh, I have created a like yeah some little like functions, but yeah, I think it's more like get started with something simple, as you said.
Yeah, that's the way to gain confidence. You can't start with something super difficult, otherwise it will break your confidence.
As you said, sometimes when I read like the documentation, is kind of overwhelming for me.
It is overwhelming, definitely. So
Yeah.
we need to go step by step, right? Uh, it's always like that. If you try to do something in a very advanced level all of the sudden, it won't motivate you. It will frustrate you. It will break your confidence. Make something very simple. Create a pet project. It will insert dogs, insert cats, and will retrieve those animals. Very easy, right? So then you're going, your confidence will improve, you'll get better. And I would also recommend you to use as many microservices technologies as possible. So if you can use containers, if you can use uh, CI/CD pipelines, it's not a microservice technology, but it's still very important. And try to make some tests with message brokers, maybe Kafka. Obviously, those are just ideas, but your first goal is to create something very simple. Something very simple you can run locally in your machine, and then you escalate, right? Then you deploy the service in the cloud, then you see how you can apply security to the service, then you evolve bit by bit. And about the design patterns, I have created articles for every design pattern, and I even created a video about that. And my suggestion to you is to try each design pattern via code and debug the code. Because I
Okay.
know it's very difficult to understand them, Design patterns, they heavily use polymorphism and inheritance concepts. And if you don't understand those concepts very clearly, it's difficult to understand design patterns. And to really absorb the concepts of design patterns, my biggest recommendation to you is to get one by one, run the code yourself, and debug the code as many times as possible until you fully understand the concept.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
Very good. Any other questions?
No, so far. I mean, as you said, if I could understand like the concepts and get enough confidence, I think that I can like escalate everything. I mean, like the technologies, like the tools, and so on.
Exactly. So now I'm going to share this document with you to help you create a weekly plan, because all of those challenges you told me, they're not challenges that you can overcome overnight. It will take a strategy and a plan that you have to take consistent actions to overcome them, right? So I'm going to show you quickly here how to use this document. And you don't really need to use this tool if you don't want. This is just something for you to get started, right? But I highly recommend you to use something to plan your week. Let me share here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see. Yeah.
Good. So it's very simple here. This is the time, and those are the potential goals for your career. So in your case, like I suggested, don't read documentation in a way that it won't help you. Instead, I recommend you to focus on creating a Spring Boot service
Okay.
and do basic operations there. You insert a pet, retrieve a pet, update, and delete pet.
Okay.
Something very simple. And then you start escalating and making it more complicated. Then you can use the front end to invoke your endpoint, for example. Then you can evolve this service. So those are just examples, but I'm gonna ask you to put your own goals here. And this is the big five. So big five goals are not easy goals to achieve. So they take at least 1 year, approximately 1 year to achieve. So those are just examples. You don't need to use the same here. So for example, you want a salary, or you want to buy a house, or you want to get fit, whatever. You want to give a talk, whatever is your long-term goal, you put there. Why we have 5 goals is because if we have more than 5 goals, chances are that we're going to procrastinate in most of them. So it's better to focus just in a few goals and to get them done. So I'm gonna give you something around 5 to 10 minutes to work on your goals. And please let me know when you're done, okay?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Very good. Let's see what you have.
Yeah, well, this is my schedule for the week. I always try to start like the day doing some exercise. So I wake up and I start like, yeah, get ready for running. Then I also try to meditate, so like from 30 minutes, from 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day.
Very
And
good.
then I take breakfast, just like something, yeah, something light. And then I I I have like this hour like free to do some things in the house, like I don't know, like clean or something like that. And
Mhm.
then I can start like study some basic concepts. For example, as you said, like Docker algorithms, system design or pattern design patterns, algorithms, things like that. And also I have like this book, as you put over here. I have read this for a while. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, I could like yeah, start applying some basics concepts about like clean code in the new apps I start working on. And then I just mainly focus on the work from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Middle of the day I have like my lunch, and after the work I could like start working on this basic app as you said, like put get or something like that. Yeah, that's mainly my schedule for the week. My goals are basically these ones. I would like to like through the basics, as you said, and I would like to explain like these concepts to non-programmers because I think that if you can explain something very easy to a person that is not involved with these things, I think that you can like yeah you already master the concept.
Yeah. So when you say Java basics, what do you mean exactly? Because it seems to me it's very generic, this goal you have.
Yeah, like inherence, like morphemes, like memory, types of types of uh, variables. I mean, string, integer, uh, types of objects, integer. Uh, yeah, those concepts, basics concepts, those kinds. Yeah.
Okay, and how are you planning to explain that? Like what platform you're gonna use? Are you gonna
Okay, got it. Yeah,
you're gonna write articles, you're gonna explain to a friend of yours?
yeah, friend of mine, and also respond like applying some questions on blogs. For example, Stack Overflow, if someone is asking for some concept, polymorphisms works and things like that, I could like explain like these concepts.
Yeah, I have a better idea for you in that case because it's not very likely that people will ask about polymorphism in Stack Overflow because it's such a saturated concept on the internet. You can find it everywhere. What I would recommend you instead is to write a blog post and then you can explain it yourself. Or if you feel more comfortable, you could also create a video, right? You could create a video, whatever you feel more comfortable. You can create a video, you can create an article, because then you're going to have to explain the concept in a clear way that will help you to really absorb the concept. And the other thing I would do, I would break it down, those basic concepts you are talking about Java. So polymorphism is not really a Java concept. It's object-oriented programming concept instead. So
Okay.
if you talk about the memory, about the JVM, garbage collector, then yes, then those are Java concepts, but object-oriented programming, you can find it in many programming languages. It's not something that's exclusive to Java.
Okay, got it.
So the more specific you are, the better.
Okay,
I would specifically say, hey, I'm going to explain encapsulation, polymorphism, concurrency. I'm going to explain about wrappers. I'm going to explain about streams, lambdas, those things. Otherwise, it's
okay,
too vague, it's too generic.
okay, got it. Yeah. Well, a senior Java developer, once I master all these concepts or most of them, I would like to yeah like increase my level to become a Java developer. Yeah,
Become a senior. Very good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. The third one is create a small business platform. I would like to start with this, as you said before, like creating a simple endpoint, for example, a put or a get or whatever. So I would like to start working on this project, and yeah, like this from my computer, as you said, from to the cloud, for example.
Very good.
Yeah, the fourth is become a mentor for school guys. I I don't know, like yeah, like offer if someone has like troubles to understand like the concept of Java, or has some troubles implementing some uh, logic or something like that. I could have like that possibility to help those guys.
Yeah, you have some option to do that, right? You can create YouTube videos and help them. You can share to this audience, to beginners, Java developers. You can potentially do that, or you could talk to someone from the college you did, from the college course, and then you ask the teachers, you ask people there if you can go there and help the students, right? Maybe prepare a small class about how to get their first job, or something that will help them to become better software developers, how to get started in the market, anything that will be helpful for the phase they are in their careers. But a video
Thank you.
would work as well, because then you could help them. You could just share your videos with those students you mentioned.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you. Yeah, like the biggest one for me, the last one, the last goal is like become a full stack developer, focus mainly in Java. I mean, I have been working also with Node and things like that, but I rather prefer Java because all the environment, the concepts and things like that. So yeah, I would like to become a full stack Java developer
Full stack with React, Angular, which technology?
with React.
React.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's just change. So can you see that in the tab here we have 1st of May? Let's change it to the first day of the next week, which would be the 3rd of June.
Which one?
In the
I'm
tab
sorry.
here, let me show you
Okay.
here. Oh, go back there.
Okay. Okay.
Just change to the 3rd of the 6th, because this is the day here.
Over here.
Yes. Just rename it.
Which day you said?
3,
Yeah.
the 6th.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so looks good to me. So the only thing I will recommend to you is to use the Pomodoro technique. Let me quickly show you here what I mean by that.
Yes, I can see.
Have you ever heard of the Pomodoro technique?
Yeah, like every 25 minutes, you take a rest. And every 4 Pomodoros, you take a long break, something like that.
Yeah, but it's not only that, right? Because when you use Pomodoro, when you start the timer, you focus 100% on your work, which means that you don't check your notifications on social media. You only focus on the work you're supposed to do, right? This means that whenever you start a new task, you go until the end to this task, right? So you start the Pomodoro, you focus on your task. Let's suppose you are reading the clean code book. You keep reading the book for 25 minutes. After
Okay.
that, you can have a 5 minutes break. And when you're creating your application from scratch, you also start your Pomodoro. You focus 100% on that, because then you get to work done much faster. You don't
Okay.
do random things. You focus on what is important for you. Make
Okay. Got it.
sense? So on this Challenger Planner, you can see the tools here as well. You can see the Pomodoro tools. And if you want to use something else to plan your week, feel free for that. You can use Trello, you can use Kanban Flow, you can use Sunsama, which is a paid app, but it's very good. I use it myself and it's very good. And I also recommend using Audible. It's out of
Okay.
the scope for this meeting, but it's basically an audiobook platform from Amazon.
Okay.
It's excellent. It's very good. Awesome. So that's pretty much it, David. I'm very happy that you have a plan for the next week. So are you going to commit yourself to get them done? You sure?
Yes, actually, I have been trying to improve my habits. For example, like the reading. I try to read at least like 10 minutes. So I think that give a chance for an hour of the day to, yeah, like build an app for scratch. It could be not too easy, but a small step to get further.
Yeah, I would recommend you to don't start very hard. Start easy and then you do more work as you go. Because if you do one Pomodoro a day to build an app from scratch, you're going to have a huge improvement very quickly, right?
Okay.
So that's what I suggest to you. So don't overwhelm yourself because that's a common mistake when uh, this is what I see a lot of times. So people want to start something new, they go all in, they do crazy work, they work like crazy, right? And then they give up very quickly. So it's better to do something consistently that's easier because that's the biggest key, right? Is the compound effect of your learning. It's not something that you do once a day. It's something that you do consistently that bring you results. Like it
Okay.
doesn't matter if you try to do an application from scratch one day for 3 hours or 5 hours in a row, and then in the rest of the year, you don't do anything. It's much better if you do half an hour, 25 minutes a day from Monday to Friday. That will be far more effective for you rather than
Okay.
spending 5 hours or 12 hours in a Saturday,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because then you're going to really absorb the knowledge.
Sure.
Awesome. Very good. Very happy that we built your weekly plan, David. And for you, Java developer who is watching us, I'm going to also invite you to show up in the live webinar I'm going to do on the 27th of June to help you become a highly paid developer and also to help you to choose the job you want. Okay, so that's it. You can click on the link below to get registered. And very happy that I could help David in his career and help him to become a better software engineer. And congratulations, David, for taking action, getting out of your comfort zone. I know it's not easy to be talking here with me and also to have your video to the public. So thank you so much for agreeing to share this video with everyone else because then other Java developers can also learn from this video.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, David. And I want to see you taking action, right? So
Yeah.
tell me in a week or in 1 month, tell me if you took action. Tell me if you followed the plan, okay?
Yeah, sure. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Very good. So see you then, David, and let's keep in touch.
Yeah. Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.